Okay, let's just dive right into this shit. Dee Kosh is in the midst of a free fall down the cliff of moral high ground. He's probably shitting huge bricks right now. Not that it's gonna be difficult for him to do so, because apparently he likes taking that salami from behind. But for those of you who don't know what's going on, you better strap in, because this blow is gonna be worse than the one your first girlfriend gave you. So essentially, a local YouTuber by the name of Dee Kosh has been accused of sexually harassing male minors by offering them money for sexual favors. Now you must be thinking, Sushii, I don't give two fucks about YouTube drama. YouTubers are just obnoxious, egotistical pieces of shit. And you're right, most of us are. But the reason why this is big news is because Dee Kosh, the YouTuber in question, has been a household name for many Singaporean youths. He's a pioneering member of Singapore's YouTube scene, as shitty as it may be, and he's been entertaining Singapore for a decade. It's as if someone told you that Santa Claus only brings gifts to children because he's a horny old man who wants kids to lick his salty Christmas bells and turn them into a ho ho ho. But for curious, meddling little fuckers like us, this is a spectacle to behold while we sit on the sidelines with a bag of popcorn just watching how this whole saga unfolds. Now, before I give my unsolicited thoughts on this whole issue, I think I need to let y'all know where I stand with Dee Kosh. He has connected with me in the past through Instagram. I was never really a die-hard fan of his stuff. In fact, I rarely watch his content even now. But through the short conversation that we had on Instagram, he seemed like a respectable and cordial man who even offered business and production advice. Whether or not he was trying to wiggle his way into my pants, I don't know, but it didn't feel like it. So prior to this whole saga, I had nothing against Dee Kosh. Alright, so this whole shitstorm began a few days ago when an Instagram user by the name of Paul raised sexual harassment accusations against Dee Kosh by posting screenshots of their text chain. Dee Kosh allegedly reached out to this young man to recruit him as talent for his YouTube channel, probably to join his posse of good-looking teenage boys to make YouTube challenge videos or whatever fuck. Paul went on to say that Dee Kosh started flirting with him and asked for daily selfies, including pictures of his body. Which is already kinda weird. Like, is this for a YouTube video or a casting couch audition? What's next? He's gonna ask Paul for a picture of him stuck in a washing machine? And here's the kicker. Paul was only 17 years old during this time, which is considered a minor here in Singapore. Now, I don't know about you, but I just think it's pretty weird for a 30-year-old to be hitting on a 17-year-old. But anyway, here's the full caption that Paul wrote. Pause it now if you want to read it. Essentially, he claimed that Dee Kosh was very aggressive with his advances, and I quote, even baiting me with money to give him a blowjob. Uh-oh. Those are some seriously incriminating allegations. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the legal age for paid sex in Singapore is 18 years old, and even sexting a minor is considered a crime. So, if I were Dee Kosh at this point, my asshole would be clenched so tight in fearful anticipation of my whole career collapsing before me. But honestly, like, Jesus, dude, can't you wait till he's at least 18 years old before you start your shenanigans? Even though the age gap is still a bit questionable, at least he's not a minor. Like, as much as you want that young, tight balloon knot to stuff your baby carrot in, at least do it with someone who's of legal age. It's just not a smart thing to do, especially when you're a public figure. I'm not greenlighting the sexual harassments that Dee Kosh committed. I'm just saying he dug a deeper hole for himself by committing it on a minor. Fucking dumbass. So stupid. Now here's where things start to get a little bit spicy. In what seemed like a knee-jerk reaction, Dee Kosh tried to smother this whole mess by sending a not-so-pleasant cease and desist letter to the victim, threatening to take legal actions against Paul. And for some miraculous reason, Paul, with his 20-pound balls of steel, decided to just post the entire legal document on Instagram. I mean, that boy just doesn't give a fuck. He's like a young Jedi with bull semen injected in his veins, determined to bring down his arch-nemesis, Dee Kosh. And that kinda worked, because the law firm no longer wanted to represent Dee Kosh after their document was released online. I'm not really sure why, but I'm guessing they must have felt compromised in some way. And soon after, just like ants sprawling out of their destroyed nest, many more victims came forward to share their experiences being harassed by Dee Kosh, including a minor who said he was offered $1,000 to go to Dee Kosh's house to film a video and perhaps give his tender dandelion a little blow, and another 15-year-old who shared screenshots of Dee Kosh flirting with him and also acting like a simp. Dee really loves his baby carrots. But yeah man, why you gotta go so young? 15 years old is... Hell no bro. What the fuck were you thinking? It's 15 years... 15 years. There were a few more victims who came forward to share their stories, and I do believe that every victim's story should be heard. But I think it's also worth considering that there may be people trying to just jump on the bandwagon and use out of context evidence to accuse Dee Kosh just to gain some internet points, which I think is just very narrow-minded thinking, because all they're doing is delegitimizing the stories that are actually true. But anyway, Dee Kosh then went on to make an apology on Instagram, which by now just didn't look very good for him, especially since he initially threatened the first victim with a lawyer letter, and now that he's trapped in a corner, he's apologizing. But still, an apology is an apology, and we have to give him credit for owning up to his mistakes. Some of his mistakes. To me, the apology didn't feel like he was taking full responsibility for all of his wrongdoings. It was more like cherry-picking things that were the easiest to apologize for and rationalizing his behavior. And he didn't show any remorse for offering money to a 17-year-old, which was one of the biggest allegations. But I think there's a reason why he didn't fully own up to his mistakes. Either one, the accusations are truly false and he has nothing to apologize for, or two, he's holding back that information because it's incriminating evidence that may be used against him. I mean, confessing that you have offered minors money in return for sex is a crime that will land you jail time, and I think Dee Kosh is just gonna keep mum about this until he finds another lawyer. But that's just my speculation. It's just how I see it as an outsider observing this whole series of events. From my understanding, 4 police reports have already been filed against him, and he's still under investigation. So the story is still unfolding as we speak. I think it's gonna be hard for him to wiggle his way out of this one. There's just way too many allegations and victims co-signing their shared experiences. I mean, the whole thing is either true or a highly orchestrated smear campaign, which is highly unlikely. Also, I want to add that it's not wrong if Dee Kosh is a serial playboy or looking for fuck buddies or friends with benefits or whatever casual relationship. It's not a crime to be horny, and it's your business how you express your sexuality. You can go fuck a door handle if that's your thing. My only issue is that the target of his sexual advances are minors, if the allegations are true. Because minors are highly impressionable. They easily become entranced by a celebrity, which makes them vulnerable targets. And on top of that, baiting them with money, knowing that they are probably broke students, is just... I don't know, man. It's kind of messed up. I want to say it's a power play, but if you really think about it, only insecure men would force sexual attraction by throwing money at it. And I feel like it's just such a stupid thing for Dee Kosh to do. He should know better as a public figure and a social commentator that people are always looking at him. So why would he even take the chance to commit such a hedonistic and career-ruining crime? You may as well put the nail in the coffin and make a cringy apology video. That'll be interesting to watch. And it's so damn ironic when you realize that he has criticized another local YouTuber, Dee End, in the past for sexually harassing his 18-year-old personal assistant. And now he himself is doing the exact same thing, only worse. If anything, it just goes to show that your favorite YouTuber or whatever online personality that you're following only shows you the side that he wants you to see. Even me, like my videos are scripted with hours and hours of editing put in to fine-tune the image that I want you to see. So don't idolize us, we are not gods, we are as shitty a human as you are. And at the end of the day, Dee Kosh made a shitty human mistake. He wanted to slam a tight butthole, but kudos to the victims for coming together and speaking up about their experiences. I think it's admirable that they are being vocal about their experience, and I hope they get the justice they deserve. I find it very tough to side with Dee Kosh on this one, because he knew what he was getting into when he sent those messages. Like I've said in the past, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And now that Dee Kosh has had his fun, it's time for him to pay for his stupid prize. But I do hope that he becomes a better and stronger man from this, and I really don't know what will become of his career. Will he bounce back stronger, or will he fade into oblivion like Dee End? And that's pretty much it for now. Let's see how this whole thing unfolds. My mouth is so dry right now because I've been talking for... How long have I been talking? 2 hours? I know this video was a bit heavy and may not be as funny or quick as my previous videos, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it anyway. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you next week. 15 years ago.